Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm very much looking forward to discussing my application with you.
Brilliant. Right, let's move straight into part one, motivations and experience. So, Daria, just to start us off today, why have you applied for the Parking Administration Assistant role? And how exactly does your background prepare you for the demands of this position?
Well, to be honest, I'm applying for this position because I'm genuinely motivated to continue contributing to public services here in the East Riding. Looking at my professional timeline, I actually just finished a fixed-term contract as an admin assistant within the Council's own Highways Technical Services team. That was from November 2025 to January 2026. I absolutely loved my time there, and because of that recent experience, I'm already highly familiar with the Council's working environment and all its internal systems. Before my time at the Council, I built some really solid administrative foundations working as an office manager at Teletrade, an accounts assistant at Podial Industrial Group, and as an administrator for a fast-paced agile team at Raya.com. I truly believe that combining this direct local government experience with my broad business admin background prepares me perfectly for your parking operations team.
That is a remarkably strong foundation. Okay, let's move along to part two, core admin and IT skills.
Now, Daria, you know the parking administration role requires absolutely spot-on record-keeping. Can you demonstrate your competent use of IT systems and explain how you ensure accuracy in your day-to-day work?
Certainly. Throughout my career, I've used Microsoft Office 365 every single day, especially Word, Excel, and Outlook. But what I think is really relevant here is that during my time at ERYC Highways, I successfully used the bespoke street scene IT systems to process information and maintain official records. I find that I adapt very quickly to new software. As for accuracy, well, processing parking permits obviously requires constant attention to detail. I really proved my ability to do this at Podial Industrial Group, where I was processing supplier invoices, handling complex billing documentation, and sorting out paperwork discrepancies. I also created and used my own workflow spreadsheets at Raya.com to accurately log documentation for our daily Scrum meetings. It's just second nature to me now to thoroughly check my work before submitting anything to ensure there are no delays.
Excellent attention to detail there. That brings us quite neatly to part three, customer service and compliance.
As you can imagine, parking issues can sometimes cause quite a bit of frustration for residents. So how do you handle those tricky, challenging public inquiries whilst at the same time ensuring that data protection regulations are strictly met?
I firmly believe that good customer service really boils down to making the customer feel heard, understood, and informed. In my previous role at Teletrade, I was the primary point of contact for clients, and that often included dealing with complaints. My approach was always to keep a calm, courteous, and very solution-focused manner. At ERYC Highways, I was regularly responding to public inquiries regarding licensing and permits. I always made sure every single person received a clear, timely update so they knew exactly what to expect next. I'm highly confident in my ability to remain professional and helpful, even if a member of the public happens to be a bit frustrated about a parking suspension or a fine appeal.
And regarding data protection, I take compliance incredibly seriously. At Highways, I processed information directly according to the Council's data protection requirements, using their secure document management systems. Even before that, at Podial Industrial Group, I was handling highly sensitive customer and financial data, which meant following really strict internal protocols. I've also completed formal GDPR training during my time at Raya.com, so I already have a very sound understanding of data handling. But of course, I am more than willing to undertake any specific council data training required for this new post.
That's exactly the kind of reassurance we need. Right, moving on to part four, teamwork and workload management.
Daria, the Parking Operations Office can be a very active place. Could you describe your experience working in a busy team environment, and how do you personally manage your time to make sure you're hitting all your deadlines?
Actually, I'd say I really thrive in a busy environment. At RAA.com, I worked in a large open-plan office that was structured around cross-functional agile teams, so there were constantly conversations, phone calls, and daily stand-ups happening all around me. Because of that, I developed a really clear sense of professional judgment. I know exactly when to engage with team discussions and when I need to just put my head down, block out distractions, and focus on my own tasks. When I joined ERYC Highways, the setup was remarkably similar. It was a multi-team setting that blended MS Teams communication with a shared physical workspace. Thanks to my past experience, I was able to integrate quickly and comfortably into that active council office environment without missing a beat.
When it comes to managing my time and hitting deadlines, I rely heavily on strong self-organization.
In the highways team, I had to juggle concurrent tasks without close supervision. My strategy is quite straightforward. First, I assess the urgency of everything using the shared inbox and team dashboard. Second, I plan out my daily tasks using my Outlook calendar so I have a visual map of my day. And finally, what I always do, and what I did during my recent council contract, is create my own bespoke working documents containing all the key processes. It helps me get up to speed much quicker, prevents silly mistakes, and essentially minimizes the need for constant supervision from my line manager.
Creating your own process documents shows fantastic initiative. Okay, let's head into our final section, Part 5, What Daria Brings.
Daria, just to conclude our interview today, what specific strengths and value are you going to bring to the parking operations team if we do offer you this position? I believe I will bring a rather unique combination of proven local government experience and a highly adaptable administrative skill set. Having just worked for ERYC Highways, I already understand the council's administrative environment, and I have a really solid grasp of the permit and licensing frameworks. I bring a calm, solution focus to customer service, which I know is absolutely vital for parking operations. Furthermore, I'm a very enthusiastic, continuous learner. I've actually just recently completed skills boot camps in service management and data analytics in my own free time, and I am incredibly keen to dive right into any specific training in civil parking enforcement processes as soon as I start the role.
And honestly, that is a textbook